Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. We're going to get started in just 2 minutes. We're going to get started. Um, Welcome to this live session. We're starting off in August, so this is really great. August is a long month. We're going to have a lot of live sessions, a lot of theme-related products, and we're going to get started right now. So let's start this live session with the basics. What is Customily? Well, most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. For both cases, we have the perfect tools to get started. So, Customily is an app that provides your store with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction. So from text typing to clip art selection, or even image upload, your preview will change live and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the product. We have this example of a professional grandpa graphic journal, and you see here we can type in, let's say, for example, that I'm going to type the grandfather, and only one grandchildren. Yeah, but you see here number of kids. You could actually have one, two, three, four kids. These are image selections and text inputs that are changing live the preview of this finished product, this journal. And if I were to put one kid and even start changing stuff, we're going to see that in this particular design, characters will show up and we are able to swap between different images and be able to transform our design, customizing everything. Now, this is a pre-made design, but if we go straight to something simple like just text typing for example, your initials, we have this other example. This is a customizable flask that actually has two variants, and you could actually set this to have either different designs. For example, it could be this circle monogram. At the bottom right, we have cowboy initials to the left, and we have a split initial to the center. And if we were to check this, you see one of the many options we offer is the chance to drop down and select stuff. You will see that you can type everything and will show and change in the live preview. In fact, Customily allows you to click on different variants and be able to preview that variant. And if you want some other effects like changing the colors of the ink because of the variants, it will happen. So as you can see, Customily allows you to preview whatever you're customizing. And not only that, it's also creating on the back end the print file to fulfill that customization. So if you go a bit back and remember how did you customize your products in the beginning, you will have to offer a lot of images. You have to gather a lot of information, go have back and forth emails with your customers, sending them proofs, waiting for the corrections, and coming along with a final product that then you will have to send to fulfillment. Now, Customily has simplified everything in that process. Now, the customer has the final power of personalizing. They can see a mock-up of the finished product, and whatever they input there and they purchase will go straight to a print file that you as a merchant can grab and fulfill. And we're going to see also that we have tools to actually automate that fulfillment as well. So how does Customily work? Well, this preview is done by loading a template on the page, as well as the options here. So these two elements are created in the Customily app. So if you follow the steps of creating a template from scratch, you will be able to create the options automatically, so you don't have to manually put in everything like all these swatches and thumbnails. And you will be able to connect this template and options to any of your existing products, as simple as that. So Whatever you create can be connected to something existing. Now, what about something new, brand new from scratch? And let me go back to my presentation and tell you a bit about Customily 2.0. Now, this is our latest update for Shopify stores, which allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. And those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because now you can choose a product directly from a print on demand supplier, add a design to it, and get it published in your Shopify store, all from the Customily app. And also with the print on demand services that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready to print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. Now, another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to Customily's design libraries. This means that you can find designs ready to use and sell, like the Grandpa example, or you can use that exclusive clipart collection, like the children on the Grandpa itself, and create your own art. So I think we can say that there are four different paths you can explore with Customily 2.0. And this is very important because when you start off with Customily, it's important to ask yourself those questions. Am I going to be selling and fulfilling with a print on demand? Am I going to be using my designs or Customily designs? Will I have my own products to be fulfilled? Those questions will take you to different paths. So, for example, you can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path and the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in minutes. You can work with the print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to their products. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. And we have a great design studio to create your own art. Now, on the other hand, if you have your own products and are not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. Imagine you have your own workshop and you just open your store and you want to create products, and those products you want them to have all the customity features and the connections, and just make things simpler in a few clicks. So instead of creating the listing, creating the template, connecting everything together inside Customily, you can have a product base, your own mockup, like a mousepad, a tumbler, or whatever that you will later combine with different designs. So the same product, the same base product, you will offer that in your store in many multiple designs. And those designs could be Customily designs. But you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. And this is the path that involves more time. But if you plan ahead and once you have all your product mockups and your designs set up, all you have to do is a mix and match game, and you will have all your new products created and ready to sell right away. So now you see the alternatives clear on how to create new products using Customily 2.0 and how to use existing products using our main app and our main tools. We're going to get started and create some products. Imagine I am a Shopify store owner. I want to start selling personalized products and I just installed Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. This is the first page that you will get when you install the app, and you will see, well, I don't have that now, but you will see here a let's get started list, a checklist for you to follow some basic steps to get started and cover some basics. There's there's an onboarding that if you answer the questions the way you're planning to use your store and cover some basics, then the onboarding will take you to the best ways to use Customily. So always check it out. And always check out our live session videos that we upload to YouTube every week to see how we create other products and get inspired with these ideas. But before we get started, we are here in the main page of Customily. You can see at the left bar that we have 6 sections, 7 actually, because we now have a new section that we are developing. But let's talk about the first 6. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools. This will allow you to create new products by having print-on-demand providers, designs, and your product bases. The other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. So you can explore, manage, and create your templates, upload and organize your assets in libraries. You have colors, fonts, vectors, and image libraries. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front-end experience of your customers. In future live sessions, we're going to cover more of the settings and the previews part, and probably going to cover some of the orders part, but this is brand new, and we're going to get started to see that on different print-on-demand providers. Okay, today we're going to create the products that I showed you in the beginning. The professional grandpa journal. This graphic journal is actually a Shine-On product. So we're going to connect to the Shine-On print-on-demand provider and pick that product to put a design on this. This is a Customily design, and we're going to see how we can do that. Then we have this customized flask. This is a product base. Basically, this is something that I have stock of on my workshop, and I want to start setting as customizable. So I will create a brand new listing with the available colors and the available designs that I'm capable of printing. But then I may want to print another designs. So I'm going to create a product base to future use this in other designs. So let's start off in the start section, okay? And from here, you will have access when you create a new product. Start really easy with this button. You will see that you have access to print-on-demand providers, design libraries here, and product bases and product mockups. And these last 2 sections is the ones that you're going to be using when you are working with your own designs and when you're working with your own products that don't fulfill with any of these print-on-demand providers. Now, if you're going to be using a print-on-demand provider, you can pick any of them, and you will see that you have access to many of their products. There are pages and pages of products that have been integrated with Customily and that working perfectly well. If you happen to look for a product that is not here, you can request that product to be added. So don't be limited in any way with what you see and you want to sell using Customily. Now, very important, you see that some of these print-on-demand providers have something called automatic fulfillment. This means that these PODs have API keys. And if you have an account with them, you have access to that API key. If you copy and paste and integrate that key with Customily, you'll be able to fully automate the fulfillment, meaning that whenever you get a purchase from a product created from these print-on-demand providers, the print file created by Customily goes straight for fulfillment in one of these. So, for example, if we're going to create a brand new product, we're going to go to Shine On, and we're going to find some available products, some others to be included very soon by the PODs or by your request. And this is the product that we're going to be integrating. Now, right now, I can create the product, but I don't have the API key integrated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to input the API key from my account. What I'm going to do is in the start section, right before you begin, and if you follow the onboarding, you will get to that point as well, but you can click on the settings area here. And in the settings area, you will find 5 tabs and go to integrations tab. In integrations tab, you will see what you have integrated so far or nothing because you just started. In my case, I have Printful and Printify integrated. But if I were to add new ones, I can click here on the drop-down menu, select the POD I want to integrate, for example, Shine On, and click on Enable Integration. Then I can scroll down and find the Shine On integration ready to put the API key. Where do I find this API key? I can click on this link and open our Help Center. This Help Center article will show you where you can find the API keys of every print on demand. So in this case, I follow the instructions. It's very easy to follow. I pick the API key, I copy that, come to Customily and paste it in here. Once I paste it, the key will be validated and I can click on Save Settings. It will turn green, and now I am fully integrated with Shine, meaning that new products that I create with Shine On will automatically fulfill. So let's go back to the start. So let's create a brand new product. Let's pick Shine On, since we integrated, and find in the catalog this one, the graphic journal. I'm going to click this, and depending on the product, you will see if there are more than one supplier, if there are more than one variant. In this case, we have just one variant, one print area, all ready to go. So we click Next here, and now it's the time that we select which design we want to use. If we have our own designs, we can click here and browse through our designs. If we don't have any and we want to start with something, so it's nice to start with a product, even if we later want or not to sell that, we can pick from the Customily designs. And check out this. We have over 200 designs, some theme related like Christmas and couples and daughters and fall season, Independence Day. We have some particular products for some particular designs for particular products. And we can play around with that or search. But in this case, I want to check out the grandpa section because a journal seems to be like a nice gift for our grandpa. So out of these three grandpa related designs, I'm going with this. So I'm going to click this. And now you see that Customily will start to work. Now what's going on here? First of all, Customily is creating a brand new listing in your Shopify store. Then it's connecting that listing through the API to Shine On. It's bringing the information from Shine On about the print area and the mockup and everything. And then it's taking this design and putting the design on the print area and on the mockup. When you have your design ready to print and ready to show on the store preview, that's the template file. So it's building the template that will be connected to the new product. As you can see, you never go to the Shine On app, you never go to Shopify. You can create everything from here. This is the only way in which the new product will be connected to Shine On for automatic fulfillment. It takes about 2 minutes depending on how many graphics you have. This is a big design, has 4 children, 1 grandparent, and a lot of options of hairstyles and stuff. So that's pretty much how long it will take, no more than that. Once everything is done, you will be taken to a revision page in which you can check out the created product before actually going to publish that. And you can do some adjustments to the product to make sure it's exactly the way you want. So now we are about there, and we'll be able to see how this product will look on the front end. So you see, After you get the first mockup, a template is loaded on top of the main image, and you're able to start playing around with this. This is your new product. Here you can play around with the options and see how they perform, how everything is looking. For example, when you have two kids, could be a girl and a boy, yeah, and they are showing up with different options. And another thing you can do in this revision page is to edit the product details. This is mainly a shortcut to something that you can do later on Shopify. But if you click on edit product details, you can change the name of the product, which I highly recommend to, because this is the main Shine On product name. So it will get confused if you start creating many. Let's say a live session. Grandpa Journal, yeah. And so the price of this. You can change this later on Shopify, but this is time saver. So let's save the product details. And check out the options. For example, like I said, it says Sir Michael. And we can change the color of the armchair. And like I said, change, okay, one kid. This is what Michael has on wrinkles and some hair, because this is a grandpa with some mustache and a t-shirt here, and this is a girl, right? She's a kind of like this. Yeah, perfect. So you see, this is just me playing around. But if I were to like this image, all I have to do is click here, and this will become my new listing photo. This is the main photo in my listing. You can always go back to Shopify, add more images, add examples of a finished product, a delivered product, show images of the inside of the journal. I mean, this is just, you may have a lot of gallery photos of the product, but then when you start customizing, you will see the front one, and that's the one changing. The others are just for getting an idea of the product. There's a good question that just popped up is, how many variants can we add? Well, there's a limitation within Shopify of 100 variants that can be achieved by having, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 different variants. I mean, as long as all the combination is below 100, you'll be fine. If you pick six um, 6 sizes of a t-shirt and 20 colors, then you'll go um, beyond the 100 variants, and you're gonna have a problem. So basically, it's going to throw you an error, but that's an error that you cannot have that many variants in Shopify. Other than that, you're pretty fine with that. I hope that answers the question. And if we're happy with this product, we're ready to publish this. If we click on Save Draft, it will be on our account and our store as a draft product. But if we go to Publish, it will become active and be on the online store sales channel. Now check this out. Before I publish this, Customily is reminding me that I never put the Shine On API key. Remember that I actually showed you that I was going to paste and save, but I didn't paste anything, so it didn't save, of course. So this is a nice reminder that you still need to put the API key if you want the automatic fulfillment. If you don't, yeah, for now, click Done. And this is the live product right there on the store. You see it's loaded the template, it's loading the options, and you can play around with the different previewing and see how things change. Everything is working perfectly well, and we can start customizing this. We can see the preview, and we can add to cart and have this customized entirely by the customer. And then you will get the print file. Now, how that happen? Because now that we have this live product here, let's check out the back end. First, let's see what happened on Shopify. On Shopify, basically, I have a new product. This is my backend. And if I were to sort by created newest, I have a new product called Live Session Grandpa Graphic. This is just a regular Shopify product. Then let's check out what happened on the backend of Customily. Remember that this product that we created here is loading a template and a set of options. And I can check that here. Remember, on the store section, we are able to see what is connected, what is not connected. So if I were to click store, I can see on the link products or products here is the same. And I can see all my store products, even those that are not connected to Customily. I can check them by the, if we don't see the check here, we can filter by the ones linked to Customily or the ones not linked to Customily, and start checking with the journal. Yeah, we can browse that. There you go. You see, apparently the name didn't change, and that's okay. Sometimes we need to sync, so especially when we are doing some live changes on Shopify. Let's click here to sync the products. Yeah, and now you see that we have the live session Grandpa graphic. So if I were to click on this product, I will get to see, for example, which template was created. This is a unique template that was created for this particular product and a unique set of options. Remember that the set of options is this that was created. And I can click on any of these and open them to check them out and also to modify them. If you're interested in modifying that, Customily is fully open for you to do some changes if you want. Let's, I just clicked here to get a quick access to the template, and I can open this and check out how Customily made it. Basically, it took the design from the Customily library and put it on a print area on this 119 by, I don't know, but the print area of the journal, put everything here. Don't worry, you don't see that. That's because everything is hidden and showing here. But if I were to find here, I will see that the man skin color is right there without any problem. So everything is here from the original design. And this is the print part. It's printing with a PNG 300 dpi. And when I click next to see the next stage, I will see the preview part. Basically the same design, but on top of the product mockup. And if you want to see how things work, just click next to save it. And before you save it, you can always preview stuff and double check. You will see a lot of things together. But if I were to type in on the names here, you see that I can type something like this. And whatever my customers see on the front end will go straight to the print. And that's the beauty of Customily. They're seeing the preview, but you're getting the production file exactly the same. So basically, this is a template, and we're going to see that a bit more and on the next product. So let's create a new product. Let's create the customized flask. Like I said, I have this product on my warehouse, on my stock. I want to start offering this product in many customizations. I'm probably going to offer this first in text and monograms and initials, and then I'm going to probably offer different graphics or image uploads. But today, so I will have many designs, but I will have only one product. So if I go to the start, I can create a product base that will be the same always. And then I can many designs to the same product. Okay, so let's create a product base. Basically, a product base is exactly what we saw on the template part, just without any design. I'm going to name this the live session flask. And how do we start measurements? Measurements are print area. So if we know for a fact, because this is our product, that we are going to be printing in a specific size area, we can put that here. So I know I'm going to be printing whatever flask I do, whatever customization I do, will have to be printed in a 70 by 70 millimeter area. So create. That's my new print area, my maximum print area. Whatever design I pick later will be inside this print area and will print in 70 by 70. How is it going to print? Well, we can pick any export format that we need. More detail and living related products may want to be printed in EPS, DXF, laser printing graphics will images can be PNG or JPEG, and we also have Illustrator. In this case, let's say I'm going to be printing on PNG, and in this case, I'm going to put 300 dpi. If I were to print on PDF, I could set the color mode to be RGB or CMYK, depending on my inks and printers. But there's a lot of settings that you can make sure it comes along with your product. Then we click next, and we are going to arrange preview. Then we're going to arrange the preview. In this case, what we're going to use, you see we have here, we'll see here that we have to add these buttons to add product images, for example, and we're going to click here. This will allow us to bring the blank products that we're going to be using. Remember that if you want to be selling a particular product, you need to have a clear shot without any customization of that product in as many variants as you wish to include. This will be like the main way of presenting a product. So I'm going to pick these two, click open. Yeah, large images, no worries. And then I will have my mockup. Now my mockup will present the preview. So what I have to do is grab my print area where my design is going to show up, and I can just shrink this to fit reality. Then when I connect to a design, it's going to show up here, just like we saw on the previous template. So let's click next and see the final revision. Basically, we are going to be printing on this size and print area, and we're going to preview that on top of the product. The product also has two possible variants, two possible colors. So when we click save, Customily will ask us if we want to save those variants, and say yes. And we're going to rename this to be just black and brown. Yeah. Save product. So now we have a product, okay, a product base, and we are ready to create a design. So for that, let's go to start again. After you create a product base, you're taken to this product base collection, same as the design collection, and I'm going to create a design. Once you go into the creating design, you show up and you start off in the design studio. Let's rename this to be live session monograms. I don't know if this is entirely monograms, but it could be. Okay, when you start off in the design studio, you're always starting with a big square canvas, but you can always resize this. In this case, since we're printing on a square area, we're going to make the most of this. And check out this. We have a lot of tools to start customizing. We can create text boxes so customers can input their own text, placeholders where customers can upload their own images or their own vectors if they're uploading logos. Also, we have street maps and star maps features, okay? And so is great because you can input your own your coordinates and your location, and it will show you on a nice map. So this is very interesting for certain products and posters. And we have dynamic elements. Dynamic elements are for you to upload your own designs, your own graphics, your own clip art, and have your customers select them, like we did with the hairstyles and stuff, or have only one image, for example, like a background. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can combine with this to create amazing stuff. And let's create a design. If you recall, we had this text box that was on the corner here, and in this corner we were able to type in free initials. Yeah, so for example, this is a text box, so I can rename this to something like type your initials. So this will show up later, and it's going to be better to have that on board. And in these different tabs, I can start playing around with, for example, the font, the colors, etc. So in the font part, I can pick any font that I have. And if I don't have much fonts because I'm barely starting, I can click on the plus and I can upload any font. In this case, I uploaded Rio Oro. So I am able to find that here in the list. That's my font. It's pretty small, right? Because I need to make sure the maximum size is, well, pretty big in order to be seen and printed. And I can keep pushing this or just type in anything. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. That looks better. So if I am out going to be allowing for free initials, I may want to type in this. And if I want them to be always capital letters, regardless of what they want, I can click this. I want also to stop at free letters, so let's keep the minimum size like that. Okay, so this is my first design. This is the free initials design. And I can offer this in as many colors as I want or just black. But the thing is, I have a black flask. So I don't want this to be black. I actually want this to be some sort of gray. So I can click on the color tab and pick some gray. I don't know, for example, like I recall this, so no worries. Yeah, that's a nice black that will look nice on the flask. You can always try this out before jumping into Customily. Now, how will this gray look on the brown flask? Not that well, because we want something more of a golden effect. So if we have the first color option to be gray, we can click here on option and go to the second option and change this to something different, right? I don't know, something more golden. And now I have two colors here, gray and golden. So now that I have my first design, I can copy and paste because, well, I want to Control C, Control V will Control C will copy and Control V will will paste. Basically, what I want to do is save some time on the color part because I'm going to be using these two colors along the way. So I just copy this, and now I have a new element. This will be another design that I'm going to offer that is called the split yeah, split initial. And this split initial will be a bit bigger, so I can click on transform and make it bigger just by inputting stuff or by dragging stuff around. In this case, I may want to type something, well, it's, I don't know, something big, like that. Big initial in the center, and my character will be something different, of course. Will be, for example, this is called split initial, should be, yeah, that one. Oh, of course, I have a lot of letters, but it's just one. Okay, looks small. That's because the size is pretty small. I may want to change this a bit bigger. Yeah, bigger. And if it's a bit unaligned, or that's because of the file that I picked, I can just make sure it's centered. This is a great combination because now I have a big initial and I can add another text. I can copy and paste because I want to keep the colors. And I can add another text element here to be the name to be input. So I could actually type in, no, it's not showing because it's really small. Type in like that. The character is pretty rough, so I don't like that. I'm going to change this to something more classic, like that. And let's say if the size we don't like, we may want to change this to, this is pretty big. You see, this is the current size, 189. So I could actually take this down all the way down to 180, and that will be my size. What if I keep typing? If I keep typing, I will go shrink and smaller. How small? Until I reach the minimum size. That's super small. So we can stop this by setting the minimum size to be something that is still printable. For example, something like that. Yeah, so you can be a bit bigger or a bit smaller, but no further than that. It's a great way to save time and headaches when things are super small. And now I have two designs. On the right, I have a split initial and I have a center name. So how do we make this a choice? That's the great thing. We can group stuff into layouts, into integrated designs. So if I were to offer these type your initials to be one design, I can create a layout here and make sure this is a layout I'm going to call top left initials. Then I'm going to grab these two elements and let me first, grab elements and create another layout. You see the initials disappeared, and now we have another one for the split. So this will be the center split initial. We're going to create another design. So I'm going to paste another text element, and this one's going to be something really interesting. We're going to create a monogram, but because it's a circle monogram, we're going to use different fonts. So check this out. I'm going to make this box, I don't know, 200 by 200, like a square box. Just grab one letter and change the font. We're going to change the font to, this particular font is shared on the video, so you can use that anytime you want. It's really nice looking. It's called the circle. And we have the circle to the middle, to the left, and to the right. So if I were to start on the left, I will get to see something like this. Let's drag this here. And I don't know, let me see the minimum size. Probably the minimum size will be like 500. No, well, no, wait, closer. No, yeah, that looks better. So 500 will be like my letter. This is one of my monograms. Like I said, you can copy and paste. Another one here. This will be my middle initial. So I need to change the font actually and make sure I use the middle font. Like that. You see it's starting to shape up. Then we're going to use the last one to create the right. And that's it. To save some time in the alignment, all I have to do is grab all three of these, and you will see alignment tools here. So I can align to the center, and probably going to make sure this will be a bit closer, like that. Okay. If the middle one seems to be a bit smaller, you can just make sure this is slightly bigger, so it shapes pretty nice. How do we make sure this is not conflicting with the other? Just grab all three of these and create a new layout to be a new design. This will be the, let's going to put that here. Or maybe this one will be the top, then we have the center, and then we have, this is called the bottom right monogram. Okay, we're going to change these sizes. So this one will be called the right, oh, sorry, the left initial. This will be the center initial, and this will be the left initial. Yeah, and now we have 3 designs ready to go. All of them have 2 colors, and you see, if you click on different layouts, you get to see one or the other. Actually, we want to remove this a bit, and you can change them separately without any problem and any effect of the others. This nice design is pretty well done, so let's save it. Once you save a design, the options will be created for you. And this saves you a lot of time because you can actually now preview the options before actually creating the product. That's very handy. And we actually released an amazing upgrade yesterday in which you can edit the options and preview them before actually going to the store. So when you go to your design section here, the My Design section, and you find your last design, you can edit this to do some changes, or click on Edit Options to preview them like this. These are my options. That doesn't seem to be quite an understanding, but let's see what happens when you preview them. This will show up on your store. First is the layout. I don't like this label, so I click here to find this, and it opens. I can click here to open and close, and change this to select your design. Now it's shaping up really nice. And we have 3 options. We have top left initials, center split initials, and bottom right monogram. When I pick top left initials, I will see this type your initials. Yes, this is the second choice. And we can do some extra stuff here, like setting placeholders, initial values, making sure it's required if you want that, and making sure that the length of characters will be maxed out. For example, 3. Why? Because we don't want customers to keep typing more and more. And we have a color initial, so we can change the color any way we want. Now, if you recall, we created these text color options because we wanted to change them with the variants, with the black or brown. So in this particular case, I don't want to see these options. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, find this hide option, checkbox, and put it. And I cannot see that anymore. Let's play with another one, center split initial. So the split initial should be only 1 character. And the color, like we said, is going to be hidden. The center name, let's say we're going to have this, I don't know, for 15 characters. And the name will not be seen. Finally, let's check out the bottom right monogram. Left initial, we need to have only 1 character. The left initial color, we're going to hide that. Center initial will have another character. I'm fascinated with this great upgrade we made. Easy to locate options, easy to preview options, to change stuff here and find them. So now that we have all set up and ready to go, we can save this and get back to our product, our design. How about we combine this product and this design together? Let's go to Start. Let's create a new product. And instead of going to a POD, we're going to click on Product Basis. Why? Because this is a product in our own stock. We're going to find that there's a flask. Yeah, live session flask is the one we want to create. we have two choices, black and brown. Those are the variants that we uploaded. And when we click next, instead of putting a customity design, we're going to find our design. In our design, if we check out the last page, we are going to see this monogram. So once I click here, the same process will begin. A new product will be created in your store. A new template will be created combining the print area and the design and the preview and the design. And the options will also be saved. So this new product in your store will load a particular template and a particular set of options that you have already set up when we check that out. This will take less time because there's few graphics. And in the final revision, we can double check how things work. Okay, so now we see the variants and we see the select your design. Remember, this is the one we set up. Or center split. Or the bottom right. See C-A-N. And that's our new design. If we change this to brown, it will change the background, but it will not change the color yet. So let's go back to top initials, black. We like this preview, so click here to save this to be the new listing photo. We're going to keep the name and the options. Everything is looking nice, so let's publish this. Once we publish this, we can look for that on the backend. And the reason why I want to look for this on our backend, remember, store is where you find everything connected, is because like this. If I go to link products and I look for the flask, by default, Customily grabbed, yeah, this is the one. Let's sync again, just in case. By default, Customily took the images we had of the flask with the different materials and put them as variants. So there's an object in the template, a dynamic image that has two clip arts. One clip art will be the black and the other will be the brown. How do you know that? Because in this page, you can see the template that was created using 2.0 tools, the options that we played out when we removed the colors and stuff. And here you can display the product variants. You see there's a color variant here that you can click to open, and you will see that there are two variant values, the black and the brown. And they are loading a different image position. So the first image is the black and the second is the brown. That's why when you change variants, the background changes. Now, what if we could actually assign the color function also to the variants? That's pretty easy because this is area here called Customily function. If we open this, we will see this function working already. That's what's changing this. That's what's flipping the two images that we have. And we can add more functions to this. So we could actually add one function of called text color for the number one. Number one was actually the initials. And we're going to keep doing this. Text color number two, this was the split initial. Color number three, this was the name on the center. Text color number four is one of the circle initials. Text color number five is the middle initial, and number six is the right initial. Want to double check? Click here to open the template. Everything is really handy and easy to follow inside Customily. Now, don't get lost in so many stuff. Always here is just for checking. I don't have to save anything, but if I click edit, I can see my template and I can see my layouts and I can open them and see that my number one item is my initial. My number 2 is the split. My number 3 is the center. And 4, 5, 6 are my initials. And I have the first color number 1 will be the gray and color number 2 will be the golden. So if I go here, as I was creating all these functions, all I have to do is come here and say, okay, color position number 1 is for black, number 2 is for brown. So now I will see the first image and the first color, or the second image and the second color. I click Save Product, and you don't have to reconnect anything. All you have to do is refresh your product page and check it out. When I click on left initials and I type in something, I get to see this in gray. But if I click on the variant, and this is very important because I'm controlling stock and I need those variants, it changes colors. And you don't have to do anything else. Your customers won't have to do anything. Everything will control automatically behind scenes by Customily. They have to input their names, and that's it. It's like a bit too much, but we actually set up 2 colors. Imagine 20. I wanted to mention something that I'm using right now, a demo store in Shopify, but you should know that all the functionalities that we have explored today can be created in Etsy as well. So if you're watching this live session and you have an Etsy account with Customily, you can do exactly the same steps and create the same products using the same assets, and it will work perfectly well, creating an Etsy listing exactly the way it created a Shopify listing. Customily is seamless with both platforms and it's working exactly the same. And since we launched this and we made a special live session about how to connect with Etsy, now from now on and back into all previous live sessions that you will see on Shopify and on our YouTube channel, we will be mentioning that platform. But now those things, those products and those assets, everything that you have on those tutorials can be done for Etsy as well. Exactly the same way, with the same connection to Shine On, to Custom Cut, Printify, and all your PODs that you have API, all your product bases, all Customily's collection are all available as well. And you will be able to manage that when you go to your home in your store. And in here, you can open and see whether you have an Etsy store, a Shopify store, or even both stores, because that's the beauty of Customily. Whatever you created on one platform, you can use it for another. So coming back here to the Start menu and creating something, combining this flash with this design for one store can also be done with the other, saving you a lot of time. Okay, so I hope that you have things a bit more clear than before when it comes to creating your products using Customily. We did some basics today and with some advanced as well, because we created a really fast Shine On product, but then we play around with our own product and actually gave a special behavior to the variants. So that's something really possible. You see, there's a lot of functions to explore, and you can always ask questions to our support team. That's at support@customily.com. Also open a live chat in the app. We have a live chat open in office hours EST. And make sure you join our Facebook communities, because there's a lot of talking and sharing and helping out and discussing about live sessions and tools in those communities. Is really amazing to see what people are doing and what they're coming up with ideas. Okay, well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining this live session. We're going to see each other again on Thursday with new ideas. Have a great day. Bye-bye.